Hey everyone, I'm back again with another r/Surviving Infidelity, and this one is titled Very Strange Infidelity Situation. I just found out my wife had been having an affair by discovering another man has moved into our house. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Let's get right into it. The last couple of years, my wife has been very cold to me. I tried very hard to improve our marriage in all the usual ways. She didn't care. Eventually, I got the I love you, but I'm not in love with you speech. Then she asked for a divorce. I begged her to change her mind. She persisted. I agreed to move out of the house into an apartment and let her and our 2-year-old son live in the house until we figure out the details of the divorce. She asked me to respect her privacy and stay out of the house. I did not explicitly agree because I owe her nothing. Today after work, I go to our house to pick up our son for a scheduled visit. Ordinarily, I would not go into the house, but this time I entered because my brother who lives nearby was babysitting for an hour, because my wife could not be there in time for my arrival. When I walked into the house, I saw several pairs of men's shoes on the mat near the back door and immediately froze. I knew right away that a man was living in my house. I started rifling through all the closets and dresser drawers. I found another man's entire wardrobe. I called the police. I explained the entire situation to the police. They said as long as my name was on the title of the house, and there was no paperwork in the divorce court saying otherwise, then I could stay in the house. I told them things could get very ugly in the next hour if my wife and her affair partner got home while I was there. I asked the police if I told her AP to get out of the house, but she said he could stay, what would happen? They said he could not stay without the permission of both of us. He would have to leave the house. Within 5 minutes, a police car showed up in front of my house. I explained the deal to them and told them I was removing all of his stuff from my house and forbidding him from entering my house. Within 30 minutes, my brother and I had all of his clothes removed from the house and thrown in the garbage. I texted my wife to tell her I knew everything and to tell the AP to stay out of my house forever. I told her that I was moving back into my house and he was not allowed into my house ever again. I also advised her to stay away from the house. She did not comply. She showed up at the house 15 minutes later. Fortunately, the police were there to act as a buffer and to explain my rights to her. She left the house and did not come back tonight. I have no idea where she went. There is simply no way I am paying the mortgage for another man to live in my beautiful house while I live in a small apartment. Nor will I let another man near my son without knowing everything about him. My plan now is to do everything to keep her AP away from my son and him out of my house. I doubt they have a place to stay in the near term. They weren't expecting to find a new place to live this week or this month. We live in an area where it can take months to find a decent apartment in an average neighborhood. They are effed. I am glad they are effed. More later. What should I do going forward? And the first advice says, so my youngest sister did basically the same thing, with some guy in another state who she had only communicated with through Instagram. My nephew was maybe 6 at the time. She moved this guy in after driving 4 hours to pick him up from an airport, got him a cell phone on my brother-in-law's account, and my brother-in-law just moved in with his dad. You handled it the way my brother-in-law should have. He has full custody of my nephew now, and my middle sister and I haven't spoken for years. He brings the nephew to all family functions, and we'd count him as a brother. Good luck. Get a lawyer and protect your son's well-being. Try not to let the bitterness rule over your interactions, at least when it comes to your son. And the second advice says, when I found out about my husband's AP, I took my kids and left our home and went to stay with my parents. It didn't take long for me to regret that decision because he used the house, which was in a rural area, as his personal bachelor pad to host his AP. When I found out, I moved myself and my kids back into the house and told him he couldn't use the home we bought together to get it on with some woman. I told him he needed to leave. Best decision I made. Good for you. Don't tolerate them flaunting the affair in your face like this. One thing I did go through is a complete feeling of being an idiot for not realizing what was going on. I beat myself up a lot about not realizing there was an affair, for believing the lies, for not realizing he was having her over. Don't do this. Do not, at any point, beat yourself up over what was done to you, because that's what happened. Someone who doesn't deserve to be trusted took advantage of the kind of person you are and did this to you. You never have to feel bad about trusting someone who you should have been able to trust. And this will change you. It's going to happen. Because something like this can't be done to a person without changing them somehow. What I learned going through it is that you get to decide how it changes you. Don't be bitter, be better. Don't let her actions define who you are. Let her actions be a catalyst for you to become the best version of you possible. You got this. And the third advice says, I think you made the right choice. It was your wife's decision to step outside of her marriage, and it would be one thing if the divorce was final and she had moved on, but you still own that house. Why should you foot the bill for another man to live there? It seems irresponsible on her part that she already introduces another man into her child's life. Besides, the house is both of yours, not just hers. She either has to live with you while you are in the house, or find another place to live. That only seems fair. And the fourth advice says, you did awesome. I wouldn't pay for a house for my partner's AP either, and I can't imagine anyone else here would. I don't know the laws where you live, and I'm not an attorney, but you may find going forward that unless you have some sort of proof that the AP is either dangerous / past criminal offenses against children / drugs, you won't have much to say and who she brings over around your child. Laws are all different, obviously. Where I was, I couldn't say anything. Where my brother was, neither of them could have any overnight romantic guests while the children were present. Maybe a background check of the AP could help expose things you may not be privy of that could help you in this case. My advice going forward would be to see if you can get a background check. Keep your cool. I cannot stress that enough. You do not want to do anything that could be turned around on you. Good luck. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment below and let me know if there's any other subreddits you guys would like me to make videos on, and also like the video and please subscribe.